I read the article this morning, and it really does. The first paragraph jumps off the page. Let me read it really quickly. I'm so glad you brought it up. In today's economy, voters' vibes battle with clear-cut data is the headline. Greg, yep. In the Wall Street Journal's latest poll of swing states, 74% of respondents said inflation has moved in the wrong direction this year. This assessment, which holds across all 7 states, is startling, sobering, and simply not true.
Right.
This is not an opinion. This isn't something on which reasonable people can disagree. If hard economic data count for anything, we can say unambiguously that inflation has moved in the right direction in the past 12 months. And then he goes and explains how things are going well with inflation, and then he moves on to the other things of the economy. Again, this is absolutely vexing that people are saying, Andrew, how's your personal situation? Oh, I'm doing great. Great economic. I'm doing better than I've been doing in a long time. 75% of Americans. And then in this Wall Street Journal poll, the question is, how are things going in your state? Our state economy is going great. Most of them say our state economy is doing really well. I mean, the majority, North Carolina, 64%. 57% Wisconsin voters, 59% Georgia voters. Pretty darn strong in most of these states. And then you ask, how's the national economy? And it's like, again, 63%. Oh, it's horrible. It's terrible. This is bizarre. It's not connected to reality. And the Wall Street Journal is exactly right. It's so much misinformation spewed out there that people are believing the lies, even though their own economic situation is good.
It's even crazier than that. I don't know if you saw, one of the questions said, do you believe that your retirement and savings and money in the market in the last year, just in the last year, is doing better or worse? Just in the last year. And they said worse. And numerically, you can look at the screen, any screen, you can look at the stock market, which would invariably show you that your retirement money is higher. And yet, a majority of these folks are saying that it's lower. It's literally like, telling you that it's today it's not raining, but it'd be like saying it's raining outside when it's sunny.
Well, it's rained most days, so it's an easy mistake to make there, Andrew. So, John Hyman, let's bring you in on this. This is one of the fundamental questions about this election. How are you feeling about the economy? It's vexed the Biden White House for months now, where they point to the numbers and say, look, it's pretty good. And yet they're not getting credit for it. And as this piece points out, there's this sort of dichotomy where people feel good about their own situation, but don't feel good about it nationally, and they're not giving the president credit.
Well, I think that's right, Jonathan. And part of the problem is that the economy is in a good place. And in a macro sense, that's 100% true. I think if Andrew wanted to tell me I was wrong, I always bow to him because he knows more about this stuff than me. But the problem is that the lagging, the indicator that has changed is gone in the right direction, has improved the least quickly, and where still there are nagging problems is on the question of inflation, which is really the prices have, we've seen a tapering off of inflation, but on the question of fuel costs, grocery costs, housing costs, people are still feeling it. And that is a thing that affects everybody. It's not a thing that affects, whether you're employed, unemployed, rich, middle class, poor, doesn't matter. It hits everybody, and everyone feels it in a very direct way. And I think and one of the things that's been a challenge for the Biden White House is that it is never a successful political strategy to tell people that they are wrong in how they're feeling about the economy. You cannot argue people out of their feelings. You cannot preach to them about how, if you just understood this economic data better, guys, you guys are wrong. Your feelings are wrong. You have to figure out a way to say to them, hey, we know that prices are still too high. We know you're still feeling it in your pocketbook. Now, look at all the progress we've made. This is this thing we still got to get after. Give us some more time, because it's just going to be worse with Donald Trump. He's not on your side. We're on your side. We fixed a lot of stuff. This thing still, we need some work. We made some progress, but not enough. There's not enough of that, I think, acknowledgement on the administration's part that there is a legitimate thing that people feel out in America, which is prices are still too high.
Yeah, but Jen, if you I understand all that, and I agree with John. Don't be condescending to voters and tell them that the world is something that it's not. But when the majority of voters tell you their economic situation's great, when the majority of voters tell you that things are going well in their state, and then they go, but the overall economy nationally is just horrible. I'm sorry, but, you know, if you looked at certain cable news channels, you would think we were in the middle of a Great Depression, that illegal immigrants were racing through schools across America, stabbing people in the face, and that leprosy is going to be spread by migrants going across the border.
It's all Joe Biden's fault.
And that trans athletes are coming to your middle school to beat up your sixth grade girl. I mean, seriously, turn it on anytime. Turn it on anytime, and it's the economy is in free fall. Migrants are coming to kill you, and trans athletes are. I mean, it's constant. It's a constant churning of these messages, and it has an impact on polls after 24/7.
Of course it does. I've never heard the leprosy one. That's a new one, but probably out there in the ecosystem, no question.
Yeah, you have not been listening close enough through the years. Migrants are bringing the leprosy to America.
Right. Need to listen more to Steve Bannon and right-wing information. I do think, and I agree with what John Heilemann just said, I think a key thing here, and I remember back, and you may all too, you all probably do, back to 2012 when Barack Obama was running for re-election, I was working on his campaign. The economy was not actually great at the time. It was improving, hard to communicate about an improving economy, that things are less bad. But the message that worked was not about data. People don't vote on data, even if data is better. They vote about how they feel. Some of that is what the cost of things are at the grocery store. Can you buy a car? Can you get affordable housing, which is obviously a huge problem right now? But part of it is conveying who you're fighting for as a candidate. And that's the strongest economic argument. I think the whole ecosystem you're talking about, the media ecosystem out there, Joe, is a huge problem and part of their problem, because the president has actually gone out in the country and done a lot of economic events. They don't break through. People don't see them except for locally, which is important. They've spent tens of millions of dollars in paid media. It hasn't worked. I think it's more about how people are feeling and how Joe Biden is going to make them feel and fight for them than it is about the data, which is what people continue to, talk about out there.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.